tonight because apparently I didn't remember there was the Shakeology surge or whatever it is, which wasn't heavily promoted in our leadership groups with for the dynasty for like with Lindsay. So, you know, don't worry, you'll get to see a recording on it. But I appreciate you guys that did show up because, you know, Maegan is obviously sacrificing her time to be here, and you are going to get a great call with a lot of value from this. So Maegan is a 2-time elite coach. Your upline is Deidre, right? And her coach is Deidre. And she is also, we're on Pittsburgh Market Council together. And I've heard her speak numerous times, and she just really always has some like great nuggets for you guys to take away. She's a 5-star diamond coach, and she's a Success Club 10 All-Star legend. So that means she's gotten Success Club 10. Well, she's actually been consecutive for 36 years. She used to be an accountant, like, and auditor, I believe. And she has 2 adorable kids. So she's like full-time mom boss. Like she's like, you know, juggling the kids, doing this. So she can show you like you can make it work with your kids like in tow. So for, you know, the moms, I know we have some pregnant moms and they're getting their seconds coming along or just had babies, just know that you can do it because she's doing it. But besides that, she's going to be talking to us tonight about, you know, being your best challenger. And she has a great Shakeology retention, AKA her customers aren't on Shakeology for a month and quit. Okay. And what does Shakeology mean whenever we have it? The customers that we retain on it. It means that means compounding income over time, right? And it's loyalty and people that are advocates for our products because they believe in them and know they work. So I'm going to hand it over to her and let her take it over. And if I didn't say it, it's Maegan Blinka, just so you know. I'm like, I just call her Maegan because she's my, you know, Maegan and Maegan.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk to you guys tonight. Like Maegan said, I am a mom of 2, and while I sat down earlier today to make you guys some really great, pretty slides, I made it to a cover page and slide 2, and that's where I got left off. So hopefully you can take some notes and talk away with some valuable things to share with your team and to implement. But the main thing I really want to talk to you guys about tonight was really just the importance of not only running great challenge groups, but being that ideal challenger yourself. And for me, it all really started back after going to the New Leader Conference last January. So I was one who came into this business because I needed to lose the post-baby weight. I had no money because I was a stay-at-home mom, and I had been about 9 months after I had left my job. So it was one of those, like, don't have the money, I'm going to find it. My coach was a stickler. You got to use Shakeology. You need to buy a challenge pack. And eventually I caved. I went for it, and I think it was on day, 16, I signed up to be a coach. Not to work the business, it was for the discount. Again, I had no money, and this was the way that was going to allow me to stick with this a little bit longer than I had initially set out, because I did cancel my Shakeology after I ordered my challenge pack. So I was one of those, ordered the challenge pack, canceled it, and I was like, the stuff is gold. So I signed up as a discount, and I was pretty adamant that I was not going to work the business to take time away from them, and I was fine with that. I had pretty good visible 21-day fixed transformations. It was still brand new at the time. I only lost 3 pounds, but my body changed, and it just took me sending that picture to my sister-in-law who just had a baby, and my relatives were all like, okay, I'm in. I'm like, okay. So I started coaching kind of like on accident, but it did take me long to watch what everyone else did and decide that there was a lot of potential here. And I do have a background in accounting. I get numbers. I saw what people were doing, and I put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, you know what? If she can do this, I can do this. And I pretty much jumped all in. It's been 3 years now. It's crazy to think how much my life has changed, all from I need to lose 3 pounds, because that was my goal, was truly 3, but I needed to lose 3 pounds. I needed to save money on Shakeology. And I stumbled upon this, and it's been a huge blessing. But I love the challenge groups. That's what got me hooked on it. I was amazed at what happened with it. And I feel like over time, I signed on as a discount coach, so I signed discount coaches. And I heard people who, you get these discount coaches, and then I would reach back out to them and say, hey, do you know there's a coaching opportunity here? And I was so quick to offer the business too. Not that that's a bad thing, but I wasn't focusing on what they came in for. They came to me because they were looking to lose weight or get in shape or get into a healthy habit or tone, nutrition, whatever it is. They had something specific that they were trying to get. And I was trying to get them on the discount coach so I could build my volume up more. And then I was trying to switch them from coach to customer, because that's what I was, or customer coach, because that's what I did. And I stopped focusing on their intentions. And just at the New Leader Conference, they really put an emphasis on what do your people want. If they need the discount, offer them the discount. But if they're coming to you as a customer, treat them as a customer. And I really started shifting the way I ran my business last year. I was one of those, like 95% of my customers were coaches. Customers were coaches. So I never had PD. Like, I did not have PD. It was all volume. My cycles were great. I didn't care that I never made the top 500 list. That didn't bother me because I was making money. That mattered. And I slowly started shifting away from that, not because I didn't like the volume, but because I wanted to focus on those customers. So it went from like a 95% signing up discount coaches to probably more of like a 50% by midway through the year. But I was finding that these customers who were really great customers were then either naturally wanting to coach, or they were giving me referrals because they just truly loved the product, and I stopped pushing it to them. And as I got towards the end of last year, I didn't recruit a single coach in October, November, or December. Not one. I had one in September, 0 in October, November, and December. But my Success Club points were higher than ever. Like, I was always a 10, but not much more than 10. And I shifted, in like my last 3 months, I've been over 20. So it was just like I saw these shifts in my business. And I'm like, and people were asking me, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm focusing on the person. And then I became the person that I wanted them to be. So if I'm going to ask my challengers to commit to a fitness program and to check into this group every day and to drink a shake every day and to use these little portion containers, then I was going to do it too. And I documented every single step, probably to some annoyingly so. I was all over Facebook. When I did the Quarter Force, what would that have been, like October into November? I posted every single workout. Like, I logged it day after day. But my challengers saw it. I got the best results from my Quarter Force test group from a transformation standpoint, and the most customers turned coaches from that challenge group. And I feel like it's because I was so excited about it. Like, that new program, like, if you don't take advantage of new program launches, make sure the next one you jump all in. I counted down the Quarter Force. I documented every day. I shared my results at 1 to 7 days, 7 to 14 days, and I kept doing it. And I'm like, I'm just being like the awesome challenger that I want them to be. And while I was over, I feel like I was like overkill, it worked. And I'm like, that to me was like the eye opener that I just need to stick to things. I love to bounce around on workout programs. I could do a different workout program every day of the year, but that doesn't really get you far. And if you don't know nutrition well, you're really not going to get any results. So I had to stop that. I had to stop jumping around and just commit. I will say, if you looked at my timeline right now, you'll see that this week I am doing a remix week, but that's because my free group was what is a challenge group, and I was showing them about on demand. But I documented my first 2 weeks of the Master's Chisel. I shared very openly that this is an off week and I'm doing on-demand stuff to show my free group participants what it is. I'll do 2 more weeks of Master's Chisel into PIO, into Quarter Force, and I've mapped that all out. So that my challengers who join with All Access, we talk about not just what they're starting with on 21 Day Fix, but what are you doing after 21 Day Fix? What are you doing after Quarter Force? And I just try to openly share mine so then they can openly share theirs. So I don't know if I see chats. If there's something, Megan, stop me if there's a chat that comes up that's relevant to me.
Oh, no, that was just me, kind of saying.
Okay. Just making sure.
I was just clarifying something you said.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, no worries.
So, and then so focusing on, with the challengers. The other thing that I feel like, a lot of, if you're here on this call, you're probably here to build a business, right? It's like, you love your team. You love on your coaches. My coaches hit Emerald. I shout them out. I send them a little package. Like, I love the heck out of my coaches. So I started loving the heck out of my challengers. Like a few things that I started doing, and this is where like the slide would have came in handy, but I'm sorry I didn't get it done. A few things I started doing when my new challengers jump on board.
Oh, we aren't seeing slides if we're supposed to.
No, because I
Oh my God,
done, which is why you're not seeing them. They looked pretty to start. But I started doing things that I do for my new coaches. I do them on a challenger level. For example, when I get a new coach sign up, I send them like a little, and it's not expensive. They're usually like random things I pick up, like maybe it's a workout tank or a headband, and I write them little notes. Like, I'm so excited for you to join my team. Like, so if it's a brand new person, I might send them some like performance line or Shakeology, because if they've never had it. If it's a customer that is already familiar with the products, I usually just send them more of like a little gift and welcome them to the team. I'll do a shout out for them, welcoming them to the team, and I can make a big deal about it. So I started making a big deal about it for my challengers. When I had ordered a whole bunch of performance line samplers, and actually ordered them for something else and then didn't end up using them, but I ended up with 20 performance line samplers. So I was like, what do I do with these? Like, I could have returned them and got my money back, but I decided to make little welcome kits. So every single challenger that signs up with me gets, and I split them. So when you get a sampler, you get 2 recovers, and then Energize, Hydrate, the creatine, which I gave to my husband. I don't send that one out, and the recharge at night. And then I bought extra Energize, because from my experience, if you try Energize, you will buy Energize. So every challenger of mine gets a handwritten note telling them how excited I am that they are allowing me to help them get started on this. And they get a recover, and they get an Energize, and like something else, whatever else I have. Like, I just have a drawer of samples or packets, whatever you want to call it. But it costs me, like, especially if you're talking all access, you're getting $70 in an all access. It costs me like less than $10 to put this little package together and mail it out. They love it. They love the heck out of these little handwritten and they're not pretty. I use just regular envelopes. I don't wrap them or anything. I don't use any special. I found like a Dream Big notebook at Target in the dollar bin. That's what I write all my notes on. But they love it. And it's just going that extra step above and beyond that gets them excited before they ever get started. And then throughout the challenge, I try to continue, obviously you check into a challenge group. So you're going to comment on their stuff. You're going to encourage them there. But I set a reminder every Sunday or Monday, depends on the group and how things are going, Sunday or Monday, I will send all my challengers a note, whether it's how's your weekend going? Are you ready for the week ahead? And just, I personally message everybody. I feel like that just helps them. Most people, by Sunday, they may have fallen off track. They got busy on the weekend. They didn't do their workout. They're feeling down. That extra little encouragement to either pick them up on Sunday morning to get their meal planning done or get their workout in or kick them off on a good note Monday goes a long way. And I can't tell you how many times I get a message from my coaches or my challengers who are like, thanks for just taking the time to touch base with me. I know you have a lot of people, but thank you for just letting me know that you care. And it's those little things. And I'm like, that's just really nice. It didn't take me long. I have a list. I can open my challenge tracker and see every single participant. So I open my challenge tracker, I open my Facebook, and I just send them all a quick message. And that little bit just really goes a long way. Something else that I just implemented last month was using Google Forms. And I have 3 of them that I use. I use one as a health assessment. And I have a Wufoo application that's on, that I try to get pretty much anyone that's going to join my challenge group to fill out. But if I don't, if they join through Facebook or they, for some other reason I don't have them fill out a Wufoo form, I'm using this health assessment form that goes through their goals and walks through. I could screen share and show you guys what the questions are. But it walks through I want them to lay out. I want them to think about their why. I want them to think about why they're doing this. I want to know what workout program they're doing. With all access, you don't always know what they're doing. Yeah, I lay it all out. And then at the midway point, at the end of week 2, I have a midpoint checkup. And this goes through again, how are you doing? How are you doing in relation to those goals that you set? And one key thing that's really been huge is I have a question there. Are you taking advantage of our discount? This takes it off of me from following up and being like, hey, your Shakeology is going to ship next week. Just wanted to see if you wanted to take advantage of our discount. I would have probably told them about that at some point already. So instead of having to ask them again, it's in this form. If you're running a great challenge group and they're getting a result and they see this option to take advantage of this discount, they're more likely to be like, oh, yeah, you mentioned that, but now I'm having fun and really liking this and I'm not scared off by you anymore. And I don't think you're going to try to like scam me out of putting my social security number into some form. They don't know what it is. And they're more likely to say yes. So I don't wait till the end. I ask them that in the middle of the challenge group. That way, if it's 2 weeks in and they bought their challenge pack like the week before it started, arguably it's before their next shipment. I want them to get that discount in and make sure that they're staying on that next shipment for the next group or for the whatever. And then there's the wrap up. So then there's a third form. And I wouldn't say my success rate on getting them all to fill this out is great. Like not everybody's filling out the Google form, but to me, that's like a typical challenge group. You might have 10 join. You might have 7 that participate. You might have 4 that finish it. If you've got 4 that finish it, that continue on, that's what, 40%. Great job. So I, like this last one, it ends Sunday, but I sent the form out yesterday just because I feel like weekends are a little hairy. So I just sent like, hey, we're getting ready to wrap up our group. I wanted to hear from you. And it also gives you like, and like one of the other questions I have in my wrap up form is, did you fill out your Beachbody challenge? So like, and I love that. Like, I love getting free t-shirts. I feel like I don't always talk about that at the end of the group because so many of my people just roll over. You know, they've been challengers or they roll into a next group or I don't know. So that just gives you another way to like fill that out. Like maybe you'll win $500, but if nothing else, you get a free t-shirt. So it's that questions in there. Do you want to be included in my next group? I'm not going to message you again and ask you. I'm not going to beg you to join. But if you want to, here's your box. Click your box that we want to join again. And then I have another one. Do you want to be featured on my blog as like a transformation? To me, if someone's willing for you to like share their stuff out on your blog, like that might be a good coach spotlight. Like that might be. And then sorry to go back. You want me to screen share these? I can just show you.
I was actually going to ask you if you wouldn't mind.
I mean, I can send the links.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind sending the links just so we could see them. I think
here's my slides that I didn't get very far.
Like, here's my slides until the kids like intervene.
Yeah.
It was just.
So let me think. What would they forms, right?
An awesome.
This is challenge group wrap up. So let me just go back to the beginning. And I'm not computer literate, so this could take me a while.
Megan, they have to deal with me.
All right. Challenger health assessment. So this just name, email address, and I can send Megan these links and she can post them. Your weight. This is so just stuff, so I'm asking them, what is your age, weight, height? What do you believe is your ideal goal? Do you exercise currently? What are your goals for yourself? Any past history? So it's very similar to like what I would talk about in a WooFoo or like in their general like first application. But this helps me lay out, do you take any vitamins? Do you have any medications? How are your habits? Here's a key one. In the event you seem to lose motivation or get off track, how would you like me to approach you and remind you of the goals? Because people are really excited when they get started in your challenge group and then they tend to fizzle off. So if you ask them now, and I did that as a post once at the very beginning of my challenge group. I said, I know how you guys work because I've been there and you guys are all excited today. And then in a couple of weeks, something's going to happen. Like life will happen to you. And then you might not be so motivated. So I want you to comment below if I have your permission to reel you back in. Everyone was all excited to say I'm in, reel me back in. Not everyone responded like 3 weeks later when I tried to message them. But that's just like you're like covering yourself. Like you're asking them to hold you accountable. And then just, is there anything else you want me to know? So this is really just a general, tell me about yourself. The midpoint one. So again, name, and the one thing I'm not real good with, like I know you can export these into like an Excel spreadsheet. I feel like it's like, yes, like I did these and then I kind of took notes on each person. But like some of like Transformation Tuesday posts, I've pulled stuff from the forms that they use. Like when they say why or what their goal was, I've used stuff from the forms that they submit so that I can write a more personal post about it. And so, here's the midpoint. What program are you doing? Are you following the schedule? Noticing changes. How much sleep are you getting? Update on nutrition. What are your cravings like? Here's your thing. Have you been drinking your shake every day? What changes have you noticed? I talk about personal development in my challenge groups, water. So I feel like it's similar stuff that you're probably talking about in your challenge group, but this just kind of makes them take a little gut check and like report back to you. Like if they're not meeting their goals, well, there's probably a reason why in here. this one, would you like to be part of the next group after this one ends? And here's the, if you're not already doing so, would you like to take advantage of preferred customer pricing to get the discount? And also I asked about all access. So do you have all access and do you want it? So that you know how to approach the people and like what challenge pack is going to be best for them or whatever. So these are all the questions that I have in the midpoint. And then wrap up. So again, program, non-scale accomplishments, their weights. And like this one, like I had one that submitted it today. Girl lost like 16 pounds. She started in like the health bet. So what, January 9th? It's like less than 6 weeks and she lost 16 pounds, which she's real quiet in the challenge group. So like I didn't know that, but she put it on here. So that was a way for me to, some people are more comfortable filling out a form like this than blasting in a challenge group that they lost 16 pounds. So I was like, that's really awesome. Like she didn't tell me that. So that was something I was going to ask her, but like that was something I really enjoyed, being able to see what accomplishments are you proud of? What are you still struggling with? Again, do you want to be added? Did you submit your results? Would you like to be featured on my blog? And then any other feedback. So it takes more time. Like I've invested way more time into my challenge groups these last few months. But like I said at the beginning, I didn't have any new coaches in September, or I had one in September, 0 in October, 0 in November, and 0 in December. But I had 4 new coaches in January that all just approached me. It's not that I was like recruiting for. I mean, I do recruit for coaches, don't get me wrong, but these people were all challengers who came to me that they wanted to coach. We kicked off our January coach training group, and it was like no other group before. Like I didn't have to pull them along. They were all creating their own free groups and doing their own thing. And they knew that, like, I told them about Success Club. They're like, okay. And it wasn't forced. Like, none of them are trying to sell Shakeology bags or workout programs. They're sharing what happened over the last few months as a challenger. And it just, like, that to me, that was the full circle. Like, I've never had 4 coaches sign up in a month and all 4 hit Success Club and 2 advance to Emerald. Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, it's not all of them. Like, when I have 4 people tell me they're going to come coach in January, 2 of them might participate in the coach training group, and maybe like 1 or 2 hit Success Club. And I'm not a high recruiter. Like, to me, like 4 new coaches in a month was like well overboard from my time. Like, I'm like a 1 to 2. I'm like a steady 1 to 2 every month. I like that consistency. But it was easier to mentor these 4 people than it was to bring on some Joe Schmo off the street that doesn't know anything about it, that wants to build this business because they think that there's some great opportunity. If you can get challengers to get results, they can become coaches in and of themselves. And I think about that with myself. No one ever told me to hit Success Club. I just watched what people did. Or I shouldn't say no one told me to do it. No one told me, like, no one like forced it down my throat. I watched what people did. I'm like, okay, so this is how you build this business. This is what you do. You get on your team calls and you listen to what people say, and then you go out and do it. And when someone has a good idea, you go out and you implement it. And I've had that same tactic and that same approach from the day I started. And I don't believe it's like, you don't need to like recruit really big numbers. You don't need to get fancy with different things. You just have to be consistent with it. If you can treat your challengers with the love that you treat your team, I feel like that can be a huge turning point for your business. That's what I got for you, Megan. Oh, Shakeology retention. I didn't really talk on that so much. For Shakeology, I've never really, people cancel all the time, but my Shakeology retention, like my average month has usually been like 6 or 7 months, which I think like corporate average they share is like 3 months. And I think it's been lower throughout more recently, more like 1 or 2 months that people get their challenge pack and cancel. And I think it comes from a few different things. For one, I talk about Shakeology a lot. I talk about what it's done for me. And I don't care if I said it last week, I'll say it again this week. I'll put a different picture up. I'll put a different spin on it. But the more I talk about it, the more people get it. And talk about the objections that people think. Think I'm crazy for drinking this $4 milkshake, so be it. This is why I do it. So I'm very public about it on my page, but I talk about it a lot in my challenge groups too. I like to do a superfood Sunday, and I only have I think I have 7 of the ingredients that I've pulled out that tend to pretty much get repeated, but like camu and bilberries and like these funky things that are in the shake, but why are they there and what do they do for you? And it just gives you, and you can just Google them. Like they don't have to, I just Google like image of a bilberry, which it looks like a blueberry, but it's not. And what does it do for you? And just adding that extra little, like, this is why, this is what it can do. I've shared different videos. I'm not going to say they get a ton of interaction, but people watch them. So it's kind of one of those, like, it's like people watch you before they join you. People are listening to it, and you just have to constantly remind them why it's there. Like I eat mine with a spoon, so I'll share. People think they have to drink it. I sit down and eat it. People like dessert. Here's my nighttime snack, and I'll make it out of pudding. Like I show a lot of variety. I have a lot of different recipes on my blog, but I don't just drink my shake every day. Like I don't sit there with a straw and drink it up. Like I'll make it, mix it with Greek yogurt to make pudding. I'll put it into cookies. I'll make a Shakeology pie. I'll make the mug cake. Like and a lot of times my husband's the one that eats them. Like I make my vegan chocolate shake every single day. But my challengers will see a variety of things that they can do it because maybe they don't want to sit and make the exact same thing every day. I love mine the way it is. And it doesn't need change. But some people need to change it up. So I will use, like he's my guinea pig and he'll drink whatever. So I'll make different recipes and try different flavors. And I always keep packets on hand. And I don't like to sell any one person one packet, but my challengers like to try new flavors. So a lot of times they'll ask me, like, it's like I'll do probably like 3 to 4 times a year, I'll do like a Shakeology shake off where I will promote that I am selling Shakeology packets. Every time I do that, I get challengers of mine that want different flavors. I don't like to mail out one packet and it's like $2 or $3 to mail it wherever it goes. But it's like the extra service to my customers, and it gives them something else to try. Maybe they hated vanilla and they tried my packet. Thank goodness they didn't get a bag of it because then they would have shipped it back. It would have been a messy return. They would have lost volume. I would have had an inactive coach, whatever would have happened. So it's like having those packets on hand. I had a challenger once that forgot. She had a combo packet and forgot to cancel hers, and she only wanted chocolate. I'm like, just ship me your 12 vanilla and I'll ship you 12 chocolate. And it was just like that extra level, but it kept her on Shakeology. It kept her from returning her box. It kept her happy. And then I took the ones that she mailed to me, and then I sold them back out. And people will often ask me about, like, do I have to have Shakeology in your group? I will say I'm not a stickler for it. I will highly encourage it and share beyond the moon what it has done for me and what I think it could do for you. But I also understand people have hesitations, and I'll respect that. But you've got to at least try something. So if they don't want to buy a challenge pack and grandma bought them 21-day fix for Christmas or whatever it is, I will at least try to get them to buy like 5 or 7 packets of Shakeology to try it. Because if you can't do 1 or 2 because they're going to make it wrong and they're going to get a flavor they don't like and they're going to hate it. But if you can do like 5 or 7 and help them drink it for 5 or 7 days, and help them see that it can be made different ways and they can find a flavor that they really like or a recipe that they really like. Like, again, like you might lose a couple bucks on shipping it to them. I do make them pay for it. Like I don't give any of it away. But
how much do you charge for it?
What's that?
I'm sorry to interrupt. How much do you charge for it? I'm just curious.
I do $5 a packet.
Okay.
So if I do $5 a packet and mail it, it's usually about breaking even with shipping costs. So I do 5. So it's like you don't make anything, but you might gain a customer. And who knows, you could get a kick-ass coach from it. I had a girl who I talked to about coaching for the longest time. She was in like 3 or 4 sneak peeks. I offered a Shakeology shake-off group. She bought a sampler for it, signed up as a coach like the next week. So her hesitation was Shakeology, not knowing she was going to like it. She was a gym person, but she loved it and then signed up. And she's hit success, I don't know, like 19 or 20 months at this point. So it's like offering those other little things. And I'll say, like, I don't keep inventory, and I love that about my business. But I know some of you are hesitant about trying it, and I want to help you. So I ordered these boxes. And like a lot of newer coaches will be like, well, I can't drop $200 and order packets because what if nobody buys it? Well, then you ask in advance. I've had a lot of you people asking me about shake. Even if nobody asks you, they're thinking it. Tell them. I've had a lot of people, I post. I've had, several of you message me that you want to try it because you don't get why I sit here and slurp my chocolate amazingness for breakfast every day, and I want to help you understand it. So if I ordered some to sell out in groups of 5, would you be interested in buying it? Shoot me a message if you are. And then you can talk to them about the pricing and mailing and all that kind of stuff. But I just find the more you can offer it out for people to try it, They can find the flavor they want before they ever, because I didn't love it at first. I thought my coach was crazy. I had vanilla. I added like milk and like 5 tablespoons of peanut butter and like all this stuff too. I used to throw Oreos in it. I mean, I was like the worst 21-day fix challenger, but I didn't love it. But chocolate I loved. So once I had that, I was a lot happier. So I just think having them on hand for me, like right now, I think I have like 2 boxes. I don't like to hold them for long, but I keep enough that I can keep my customers happy. Does anyone have any questions?
Does anybody have any questions? I know I have a couple, but I don't know. I guess I'll start because
sure.
You guys can. So you said when you start with, you get new challengers and you bring them in and you like to send them, which I think it's awesome because it is so true. Like anytime I've sent Energize to somebody, it's like, then they're like, where do I buy it?
And if you just want to do Energize, you can. I just literally had 20 or 25 samplers. I did the Pittsburgh Fitness Expo and I'm like, these gym rats are going to love the performance line, and I didn't sell a single one. So I was literally sitting on 25 performance line samplers, and my husband uses the whole line. He's like, I'll use them. And I'm like, no, I'm going to use these some way. So sometimes I would give them to my coaches, and then I've realized that I can give them to my customers.
So you send a Recover and a
yes, for the longest time I did Recover and Energize and like maybe like a third of whatever I had. You cannot buy Recover packets by themselves. They only
come in the packet.
But the good thing with the samplers, you get 2. You get chocolate and orange.
Do you get chocolate and orange? Mm-hmm. I didn't know.
I actually bought those when they just released the orange. So I just made the habit of sending them all. Now I think I have 1 Recover left. So I don't know that I'll do a Recover now. Like I might just do like the Hydrate and the Energize. I think Recover is great. And I also find I don't personally drink it. I drink Energize, and most of my customers and coaches drink Energize because they see me do it every day. I don't drink Recover just because I try to avoid dairy. So when I cut that out, like I couldn't really promote it myself. Mm-hmm. So I don't sell a lot of that. But I've noticed my coaches will do what I do. Like I used to use almond milk. I stopped using almond milk. They stopped using almond milk. I started using water. They started using water. When I did Whole30, I used coconut water. I kid you not, like 90% of my challenge group uses coconut water. That's so funny. Like they just do what I do. So you know what else I started doing? I boost my shake with all 3 boosts, all 3 of them. They started asking me about it. What is that? And I do boost them all. I mean, I use a half a scoop of each one.
Do you? But Shay Stanford did a really good post. I don't know if you saw it, but she was talking about how people want to know about like how to lose weight and all this stuff and all the. If you haven't seen it, I'll send it to you.
I haven't seen it.
It's talking about how fiber is one of the main things that helps you with losing weight if you have your fiber, and how digestive boost is like so important as a boost. It's like one of the most actually like.
I bought it from my grandma. And my dad, not to get too personal, but like my father-in-law he has diabetes, he has to increase his fiber. And I told my mother-in-law, like, no, stop.
Yeah.
Don't buy a fiber pill or anything. Like, buy this.
Yeah, obsessed with
it. Here, you try mine. Try it. Because you're going to like it, and then you're going to buy it. I will say that digestive health works in a great way, not like in a bad way.
Yeah. And I'm going to send you the link to Shay's post because it just came up in another thing.
Yeah, let me know. I just finally do what I do. Like I've been talking about it when I log my shake, and I don't like say, hey, you should do this. I just say, here's my shake: vegan chocolate, coconut water, spinach, half scoop of all 3 boosts, yum, whatever.
Yeah, it's a very
someone's like, I've been meaning to ask you, what do you think of those? I love them. In the Power Greens, I started using Power Greens. I had mono in January, and I was half dead. So I wasn't eating much just because I was sleeping all day. So that's when I got back into using all 3. I've been using digestive health for a while. And I had used Focus Energy when it first came out and then ran out of it and just never bought more. But they do what you do.
Right.
So if you
I use Focus Greens on Della. I give her a half a scoop of not Focus Energy. I'm sorry, Focus Greens of the greens. I do a little half scoop for her because it helps with like getting her bowels going. But
I just use a half a scoop of all 3.
For your groups, I wanted to ask what you said. What are the length of your groups typically?
I got messed up with the health bet. I try to run them all 4 weeks, and I run my challenge group the third Monday of every month. And then, so like new coaches start training like the first Monday of the month. They have 2 weeks to get challengers in that start on the third Monday of the month. Health Bet messed me up. Like my health bet group, because it started on the 9th, but I opened up, I think I added them in on the 2nd is like what I promoted it. Then the health bet was the 9th. So I had to run 4 weeks of the health bet. So then like it ended at an odd time. So I just kept it running, but like I'm sick of it. Like I need a new group. Like I can't. And I've tried graduate groups. Those don't work either. I've got like a lot. I think there's like, I don't know, probably like 15 like amazing challengers that will check in every single day without fail that have been with me for like a year plus, but like they all like, and some of them are like my coaches' customers or my coaches' coaches, but like they've all created like this bond together. They won't use the tracker app. They want to be on Facebook together. So I keep it. So I offer both. I made like a poll on my page, like, do you prefer Facebook or the challenge tracker or you don't care? And it was like legit split. I'm like, great, I'll keep running too for you. Yeah. But that's what they want. So I'll run them. I would prefer to do just the tracker app because I actually like the like all the different things within the tracker app. Right. But
it's just going to keep getting better too because it's still getting in the
I mean, I don't check into Facebook. So I will post to my tracker app and I will post the exact same thing to Facebook. But when I do my check-ins, I do them just in the tracker app because I'm just not doing that. I'm not.
But so when you say you do a 4-week group, does that include your prep week or just?
Yeah. So it'll be like a week of preseason. And then 3-4 weeks, and then you have the option to start a new one. Just because not everyone stays, because life happens.
Right.
Life happens.
I was just curious, like, because I know that Mel was still like doing like freaking like 60-day. I saw her advertising like 60-day groups last year, and I was like,
she did a 6-week group. I know, in the
I was like,
summer. I think she does 30. I think she advertises 30-day groups. Is like what she markets is a 30-day group. I just do the
I loved your whole thing I love this assessment form. It's really like, a nice way to offer without people feeling pressure free, like very pressure free. I just thought it was like great. And okay, Maureen wants to know, how do you charge your customers through PayPal?
I do PayPal or Venmo.
I have no idea.
Venmo, something like that. I don't know. Somebody didn't have PayPal. She's from Chile. It's not. But she had Venmo, and she's like, can I buy it through from Venmo? I said, sure. So I figured it out, downloaded Venmo, put my bank account in, and put it through Venmo. What does the boost do for you? The focused energy to me, I've never drank a 5-hour energy. To me, focused energy is like a 5-hour energy based on like reading. So like focused energy is a slow release energy. So your energize is your quick boost before your workout. Your focused energy is to keep you legit focused and alert all day. I think if I used more, I would probably like a full scoop. I might notice it a little bit more. But I used to drink 2 energizes, like one in the morning and then one in the afternoon. And I find that I do my focused energy. I don't need that second energize. I don't drink coffee. So to me, my energize is just my coffee. But I don't do that anymore. Like I can do my energize in the morning before my workout, put my focused energy in my shake, and then I'm good.
She asked, do you drink it in the AM?
I do. I drink my shake for breakfast. So like I'll have my energize, I'll do my workout, I'll have my shake with my boost. And then like the digestive health, it's like people will say Shakeology makes you more regular. I feel like digestive health just makes you like more regular. Like I don't think it's not like oh my God, I drank this and now I have to go to the bathroom and I'm gonna like double over. It's not like I'll go. Like it's moving.
And the boost, I know Whitney, from personal experience, I know that Robin, she was using it. Obviously, she works in law and stuff, and she said that she had like a noticeable change with the focus energy. And it's crazy because I've never tried it, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure, but
I ended up with them. Like I bought them when I did the fitness expo in February or May of last year. And I looked at the dates and they were like, I had them in a drawer that I just keep any random thing in. And I cleaned out my drawer and I found out that they were all 3 about to expire. I'm like, this is like a lot of money. Because I didn't think I needed them, right? Like Shakeology is the healthiest meal of the day. Why would you have to add anything to it? So I just didn't really feel like I needed them. But then when I had them in a drawer and they were going to expire, I was like, I can't really like promote this as a giveaway because I don't talk about it. So like me being like, do you want to try this when I've never talked about it? I'm like, that's dumb. So I decided I would just use them myself. And I actually used them all without ever even talking about it. Like I put them in my shake, but I never logged my shake saying I boosted it. But now that like I've done it more consistently, and I'm just seeing a more direct trend that like these people, they do what you do. They do a workout program I'm doing. They make their shake the way I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well,
I mean,
I'm using
I need to hear your call because I just don't like talk about what I do enough in my groups and public.
And I think that's what happened. I got more focused on building my team that I did the basics. I posted every morning. I checked in with my challengers and I checked in at night and then I was done. And I stopped being the challenger. They love it when I tell them that I sat down and had a blizzard. They love it. They're like, oh my God, you're human. I'm like, I ate a cookie too. Like I ate them. Like you don't even know what I had yesterday. But like they love it. Like they love, I don't want to say it like, but they love to see you fail because they think that like as a coach, you have to be some other girl on a random team. I don't know who she is. I wasn't friends with any mutual friends of hers, but she's a coach somewhere in the world. And she sent me a message today. She's like, or yesterday. It was the day that I actually got up, brushed my teeth, got dressed, and then crawled back into bed and reset my alarm. And she's like, I just love that you share that kind of stuff, that you don't try to pretend that you are just, Miss Perfect, that you get up and work out every single morning at the same time and you just love it. Because I don't. I like to sleep snuggled up to my husband too, but I've got work to do. So it's just more off topic, but she I love when you share that. But it's like that. I mean, that same post that I talked about, I put that in my free group. That's what is a challenge group. And I talked about it there. Like, did you think about sleeping in today? Because I did, but I didn't. I only snoozed.
Well, guys, do you have any other questions? There's a lot of thank yous. It's super helpful.
You are very welcome.
New ideas to implement.
And as I'm always told, don't be a collector of information. Pick something that you're going to do first.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maegan. We are so blessed to have you.
You're very welcome.
And then I'll get in touch with you to get the links for those, and I will send you the Shay thing. And guys, I'll post the thing from Shay about this, the fiber boost. It is like I was like so intrigued by it too when she posted it.
That makes sense. Like,
it was a video.
You want to get that stuff back out.
Yeah, she's all about the Shaco stuff and the whole person. So I'll send it to you too.
Yeah, thank you
so much. All right, guys, have a great night.
All right, good night.
Bye.
Bye.